Greetings and welcome to PinballHelp. Mike here. Work continues on this driver board for Gottlieb System80b. If you've been watching the previous series, I have isolated the problem down to one of the chips here. So now I'm going to replace this, and I've already started to remove the chip, and I'm going to go over my process of how I desolder these things off of the board. So first off, on the rear side of the chip, right here, let's pull this up right here, and this would be where I would work. I like to hold the board vertically, and then I will take the desoldering gun and I will slowly touch it to it, let it heat up for a second, and do like that. And I'll go through each one, sucking as much of the solder as I can. Like that. Once I've got most of that removed, then I'll work on the top side of the board. Now what I like to use is these little very, very precise clippers, and I'll clip one side of the chip off. So let's zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. So here I've clipped one whole side of the thing, and then I've bent it up. So there it is right there. I've gone clip, clip, clip. Well, let's see. Clip, 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 and I've clipped the legs off. I don't want to pull on them, and there's some previous videos where I wasn't as knowledgeable, and I would kind of use the chip for leverage to try to pull these things out, and it's just really a bad idea. It's too easy to pull the little pads that these things are soldered into. So instead, I'll just take this and bend it a little bit and break it off. And so now I've got some nice, good contacts here on the other side to grab a hold of. And as you can see, there's still some solder on the top side of this board. I was unable to suck it all down from the underside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a regular soldering iron right here, and I'm going to try to pull these pins up one at a time. Let's zoom over on this. And I'm going to try to pull these pins up one at a time. So I'll use my little clipper here, and I'll grab a hold of one, apply a little bit of heat to melt the pad, and then I'll pull this out. Let's see. Just work it a little bit slowly till I can get that out. There we go. And so I'll pull this out one pin at a time, and then if there's anything left in these holes, I've got a set of tools here that I'll use. This guy right here, it's a little reamer, and there's a rounded side, and then there's a kind of a square flared side that I can actually kind of use to kind of drill through the solder. I don't want to put too much heat on this board if I don't have to. So I'm going to go over each one of these a little bit at a time. I'll probably use the desoldering gun again on this. With the chip removed, it'll be less of a heat sink, and I might be able to heat this up and suck more through. And then I'll slowly, little by little, just pull these things up, and I'm going to be very, very careful. And I like keeping the little nubs, and you know, obviously you ruin the chip in the process here, but this chip was already bad, and there's no easy way to really get one of these things out without damaging it. Either that or the board. You got to make your decision. So I'm going to get this out. I'm going to clean it up really nice and put a socket in there, and then when the replacement chip comes in, I'll throw that in and we'll be able to test it. So I'm going to continue with this, but wanted to give you a little bit of a quick thing of how I'm removing these chips. This looks like a relatively easy board to work on. It's not very congested. There's enough space here, and I can see where all the traces are. So once I pull this, clean this out, I'll check continuity on all these lines to make sure everything looks good, and we should be back to getting it ready. So for more, visit pinballhelp.com. Thanks for watching.